Okay, in this video, I will be detailing my gauge cluster with some questions on what I know and what I don't know. So I know that this is the stock gauge cluster for this model truck. It is also the stock gauge cluster for the 66C10, and it's the 64 to 66C10 gauge. I know that. I know the fuel gauge doesn't work, temperature gauge doesn't work, oil and generator don't work. There's a possibility that the speedometer might work, but I'm not sure. I don't know what any of these knobs are. I know this is the ignition. There's also two knobs down here that I don't know what to do. This is the 3 on the tree model, which was standard in these trucks, which means it has a gas pedal, brake, and clutch. Don't know what this does, also don't know what that does. This is the handbrake down here. This works by, there's a button on the back. I have it engaged right now. And you can squeeze the button, and then it slides back. And it engages by grabbing it and pulling it. It has factory air, factory ashtray, factory radio, aftermarket gauge cluster. This is oil pressure, water temp, and amperes. The glove box just got junk in it, nothing good. Now, the seats work by allowing them to fold forward, leading to a walkway. But you can see back there, there's 3 rows of seats. There's an intermediate row and then a back row at the very back. The front row is a bench seat, and then with extra fold-down chair. This needs to be reupholstered, as do the rest of the seats. We also need to install steering wheels. This is the blinker over here. This looks broken because they won't engage. Horn doesn't work, there's no battery in it. And we are working on the engine right now. I'm going to move up there and detail what we have going on the engine. Another problem with this truck is that the doors do not like to close. To close it, you have to pull it out, lift it up, and kind of slam it. This will allow it closed, but there's still a gap there, which we need to address. Up front, we have the stock 283 motor. It turns over, but it won't run. We think the fuel pump is bad, and there is a liquid in the gas tank, but we don't know what's in there. We added gas, and it filled up right away, but it said it was empty. That is the stock master cylinder for the brakes.